Hi everyone, it's Meg Sharp from the Cambridge Group of Clubs, and a couple of weeks ago we launched our virtual personal training platform, and it is going so incredibly well. As many of you know, when we launched the platform, we also offered all our members an opportunity to purchase a kit. And while I don't have exactly the kit that we sent out, I do have some of those elements, and I wanted to take the next few minutes to take all of you through an example of what an amazing workout you can get with the use of the yoga mat, ring bands, TheraBands, and our D-handle bands that came in the kit. Now the kit did have two different resistances for all of them, so it gives you loads of flexibility. There is so much we can do, but for today I'm going to take you through 4 different superset exercises. I'm just going to go through them once. I recommend you do them 2 or 3 times through, ideally back to back to make it really efficient, but you could also go through all 8 exercises and then run through them all again and run through them all again. I'll take a little pause after each pair so that you can run up, press pause, press rewind, run through them again, and then keep going with me. All right? So to start, we're going to use one of your ring bands that you have, one of those little rings, and we're going to put it around your knees, and we're going to modify our squat. So we're going to take our squat and add a little bit of external rotation. This is going to give us a little more glute activation, help those knees track really nicely. So I'm going to go just a little wider than shoulder width apart. I'm going to stand in a fully extended position, look down, and I'm going to make sure that my kneecap is in line with my toes. So because I'm a little wider than hip width apart, my toes are turned out a tiny bit. I'm going to keep some external rotation, so that is thinking about opening up the hips or turning that femur in the hip socket so that it externally rotates just a little bit so that that bum stays firing and those knees stay tracking over your toes. You'll notice I also have one swath of TheraBand in my hands because I'm going to back to back this with a little bit of a back exercise, and I want to be super efficient. You got your stuff? Ready to go? Deep breath in, brace, externally rotate those legs, and as we exhale, come down into your squat. Remember, we are looking for this to be a hip dominant move, ladies and gentlemen. So hips move before the knees bend, hips back. Keep that torso nice and upright, looking for lots of energy through the lower abdomen so that that low back doesn't arch on me. I'm just going to do 10 of these. So 4 more to go, nice and firm, pushing into the ground and back up. Last 3, last 2, and last 1. Those knees tracking really nicely over the feet. Walk the feet in just a little bit, just to give the thighs a tiny break. Extend the arms out in front, hands a little below the shoulders, palms facing up this time. Initiate the movement by drawing the shoulders down and back, down and back, down and back. Finish, hold the pull for just a couple of seconds. That's a little tight for me. I'm just going to modify that a little bit. Give myself a little more slack. Nice and long through the torso. And careful as we extend those shoulders and retract and depress them, that low back isn't arching at all. So we've got a little bit of tension through the glutes, a little bit of tension through the abs, or you can think of keeping a rib to hip connection to ensure that that low back doesn't arch. Although we're trying to get just a little bit of length and extension through that T-spine. So we'll do another 3 here. Nice deep breath in. Exhale as the shoulders come down and back. 2 more to go, and 1 last time. So then once again, we're all finished that, you could go right back into that squat and superset it with that pull back. But I'm going to move on to exercise number 2. So for this one, I'm going to hang on to this ring band. I'm going to grab my water bottle and place it towards the edge of my mat. I'm lining up the ball of my left foot with that water bottle, and I'm going to go into a pistol squat. So again, hip dominant movement, really great for getting those glutes to fire, and awesome for working that dorsiflexion of the ankle, working on that balance, that knee tracking, and the muscles that come up through the sides of the legs. So I'm going to cock this leg back, nice generous bend, and then I'm using the water bottle so that I have a point to aim for. So as I come down and up, I'm conscious of how low I'm going. You'll notice for me, the water bottle is about half the distance, half the height of my lower leg. That's aggressive enough for me. It gets me to almost 90-degree bend with this working leg. You may need to be a little higher than that. Those of you that are extremely strong, you can go a little bit lower, but as always, we recommend you try being conservative at first. This is just in your hands for later. Okay, so off we go with our pistol squat. Deep breath in and brace. Push the hips back, draw the knee down, push the foot into the ground, full extension to the top. And we're going to stay focused on great control through that pelvis and keeping that knee tracking right over the foot. Full extension at the top, which helps to reactivate that glute every time. So again, this can stay as a hip dominant move. We don't want too much energy shifting into the knee, and really work on bending that ankle. 5 there, we're going to do 5 more and switch sides. I need to find a little spot to focus on so I can keep my balance and control. Keep that knee tracking forward. 2 more to go. Deep breath in. Exhale, extend all the way through. And 1 more time. Beautiful. Let's step into the other side. So again, line up the ball of the foot with that bottle. Full extension at the top. Wake up that glute. Drop the shoulders down and back. Deep breath in. Exhale. Down we go. Awesome. So knee goes right over that toe. Hip goes back first, and then the knee bends. Spread those toes into the mat, so you're using that entire foot. Push the mat and the floor away from you as you come up to the top. Excellent. 5 more to go on this side. And 5, find a spot on the floor, on the wall, to help you balance and really stay focused on using that core strength. Careful to lean too far forward. I did that on that one, just there. Yeah, trying to sit back into it, right? Fantastic. 1 more. Beautiful. Okay, grabbing your band. This is more isometric than anything. Gentle pull apart on that band. I've got my elbows into my sides. And I'm looking nice and wide through my shoulders. So this is an exercise you would use to get stronger with your pull-ups or your lat pull-downs. The key really is to keep thinking about opening up that chest, drawing those shoulders down and back, drawing those elbows in. So I've got gentle tension, and I'm not moving and I'm holding a little bit of tension on that band. I'm going to try and keep that tension, so not allow myself to pull this way, but keep, if anything, almost like I'm making a gentle triangle the entire time. So the band is going to come up and over my head. Deep breath in. And then exhale, I'm going to keep the tension on that band. Let me drop down to my knees so you can see. And come back down as if I am doing a pull-up. So I want you to almost imagine you're pulling yourself up over top of a bar. Keep those elbows in nice and tight. Deep breath in, exhale, draw the shoulders and the rib cage down and pull up. Careful to keep some energy through the abs and through the glutes so that that low back doesn't arch, but we stay really nice and open through that chest, long through the neck the entire time. Keep that gentle pressure on the band, always pulling out a little bit, while keeping the elbows a little bit in. Open up through that sternum, keep that clavicle nice and wide. Drop the shoulders down, pull the face over top of that imaginary bar. Go 2 more. Neck nice and long. 1 more time, gentle pull and pull down. So once again, right back up on your foot. We can go back into that pistol squat, back to back. with that modified pull down. From here, I'm going to stick with this band. I'm also going to take one of my D-ring resistance bands and keep it off to the side. Staying on my back, I'm going to take this band, I'm going to put it just above my knees again, and I'm going to roll over onto my side. So modified clam, my knees are at 90 degrees. I'm going to relax my head right down. I've got a nice line right between the top of my head, down through my core and down into my feet with the knees stacked in front. Keep those hips stacked one on top of the other. Your tendency is going to be to roll back a little bit or arch your back a little bit to try and get a little bit more external rotation through the thigh. You're going to keep that hip forward. I'm going to place my hand down here just to help me keep the shoulders stacked one on top of the other and my hips stacked one on top of the other. Ankles stay together. Nice deep breath in, and as I exhale, I open up my top leg as if I'm opening up a book. And depending on your active range of motion, you're probably going 30 to maybe about 45 degrees up. If I go any further, I'm going to have to break that nice neutral strong pelvis, which I don't want to do. No movement through the pelvis. Keep this hip right there. Activate through the muscles in my core. I'm halfway there. Nice and easy, up and down. Exhale. And bring it back. I'm just feeling that through the glutes and a little bit through the abdomen. 3 more on this side, and then we're going to turn right around and do the same thing on the other. So again, keeping that hip really, really nice and still. Good. Not forcing that range of motion, but keeping it strong and controlled. Leave the band where it is. You can just flip right over to the other side, and we'll work the other side. So again, line yourself up in a nice straight line. Make sure that pelvis is nice and neutral. So definitely not tilting back. Nice and strong rib to hip connection. Deep breath in. Exhale, one hip on top of the other, and open up. And take your time. We're really trying to earn that range of motion. You want to be able to get to the top of that and pause and hold for just a couple of seconds. Yep, earn that. You want to ensure that the body is okay and stable in that position. The last thing you want to do is go quickly, using all kinds of elastic energy, and then snap right back out of it. You may be strong enough to get there fast and quick, but I want you to show me that you can get there really deliberately. Use that strength, hold, earn that position. Feel that burn at the top. Keep that hip stacked right on top of the other one, and use and fire those abdominals to help you with that control. Nice. Good. From there, bring yourself back up onto your hip. Flip over. Let's take this off of our legs. We're going to grab our D-ring resistance band, and this goes under the arches of your feet, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to pull my feet out just a little bit. I'm stacking my torso right on top of my hips, nice and strong. Little bend in the knees, because if I straighten them too much, it's too difficult for me to sit upright. And we want to try and avoid leaning back as we do this row. I want you staying nice and upright. As always with our rowing and back work, you see I'm just jigging this a little bit to give myself a little bit more tension. If I put a little more slack between the feet, then I can have a little more tension on the handles, which I like. Nice deep breath in, nice and tall. Open up that chest, draw the shoulders down and back, and row. And hold. Nice deep breath in. Draw the shoulders down and back. Row and hold. Squeeze those shoulder blades back and together. Ensure you're staying nice and upright and not allowing that chest to come back, but more almost as the elbows come back, the chest inserts itself forward. Strength through the abdomen. Nice and strong, tall and long through the neck. We've got 4 more to go. Drop the shoulders, keep the shoulders down nice and low. Careful that they're not creeping up towards the ears. Keep that torso nicely stacked. 2 more to go. And one last time. So once again, if you're completing your back-to-back, you're going to put that D-ring back around the knees and go back and forth between your clamshell and your row. Final exercise for today. All we're going to use is our swath of TheraBand. We're going to go down on our back. You're going to modify your hip bridge a little bit. So the TheraBand goes right across your lap. Down we go. We're going to extend our arms down so they're about maybe 10 degrees from the body in terms of your angle. And I've got just a little bit of tension through the band on the lap. Nice deep breath in. Extend those shoulders down. Extend the hands away from you. Drop the shoulders down. Externally rotate so the triceps and the elbows can push into the mat a little bit. Deep breath in. Exhale and extend the hips up. So just a little bit of extra tension there, both through the triceps, through the back, a little bit through the forearms, and absolutely through the hips. Nice and even on both sides. Engage the abs as I come up, and really engage those glutes and abs at the top so that I ensure that that tension isn't going into the low back. And I'd like you to think about extending the knees over the toes, reaching them away from you towards the opposite wall. Keep externally rotating the shoulders so that I'm pressing the upper arm into the mat, opening up that chest, while still keeping that nice, strong rib to hip connection. Keep reaching the fingers away from you, coming down towards the toes, down towards your feet. Beautiful. Roll onto your side. Bring yourself up, and a superset with that one. You can do this standing if you prefer. I'm going to keep it off of my knees so that you can see my full range with my arms. And we're going to empty a can here. I don't know if you have heard that expression before. It's a really popular rehab exercise for people with problems with their shoulders. It's such a wonderful exercise to be doing for us right now. Those of us that are running a lot, cycling a lot, working at a desk a lot, really to help open up that chest and get into those muscles through the back of the shoulder and the rotator cuff. I'm going to pin one arm down at my side, still nice and open. I never pin anything rolling inside. Keep that down. And then I take the other arm forward, I tip the thumb down, and I'm going to imagine that I'm leading with the outside of my baby finger as I bring that band up towards the ceiling. So right up so it's right beside my head. Bring it back down and forward and up. Keep that shoulder down nice and low, nice deep breath in. Again, careful not to arch through that low back. As you get that shoulder extended up and back, we want all the movement to come from the upper and mid back. Good, nice deep breath in. Exhale and extend. Great. And again, draw that other shoulder down and back. Stay nice and wide through the collarbone. And come up on that nice angle and play with this. Want it to be comfortable. Careful, yes, you're not doing what I was just doing, which is sort of shift everything off to one side. So keep a little bit of tension through the abdominal on that working side to keep the ribs and the hips nice and square. We should be able to take exactly the same length on the other side. So I've got my arm, again, about 35 degrees in front of me, and I'm pulling up and back, leading with those baby fingers, pull, and again, nice square shoulders, deep breath in, and exhale. Careful not to allow that low back to arch. Nice pure movement from the shoulder, let it travel down and back. Keep the neck nice and long. And exhale, up. Earn that range of motion. So we've got a little pause at the top to ensure that the body is happy with that full range. That you're using the muscles through your back and the back of the shoulder to both gain that range and hold it. Got 3 more to go on this side, big finger up, 3. And you really are imagining that you're emptying a can of the liquid, right? Get all that liquid out of it. And go one more time. Hold and drop it down. Beautiful. So you've still got your band ready to go. Pop right back down on your back into that hip bridge and superset those back and forth. 8 exercises, 4 sets. Try them 2 to 3 times through if you can. Enjoy, breathe lots. Thank you so much for joining me from my home to yours. And if you don't have a kit, let me know. We'll get you one.